And I want to talk about that because you talked about the defensive staff. One of the highest paid. There's literally celebrity, like former NFL coaches, Eric Henderson, Rob Ryan on that staff. Do you think, though, next year, if the defense doesn't fix itself, do you think Danton Lynn is on the hot seat?
100%. Like 100% he is on the hot seat. Like they brought him over from UCLA. He had a great defense there. And last year the defense made so much improvement from the year before. It was astounding. But it has made little to no progression this year. And I think I would argue it's even gotten worse from last year.
Yeah,
I very much think he's on the hot season this season.
I mean, you don't have, and I mean, looking at last year, you don't have a Nate Clifton this year. You don't have a Sam Green, who is having a fantastic season at Kentucky.
Yeah.
I mean,
we somehow traded for the worst Kentucky player in Sean Silver. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, and then I mean, injuries too. Jamal Jarrett's out for the year. There's just, I mean, the edges have been good, but the middle has not been great at all.
In the middle. I will say, I'm excited to see what Chad Bowden can do in the offseason. I know it's a cop-out, but he got there after the winter portal, and that's when the recruiting really started getting cooking. So I'm excited to see what he'll do in the portal because you need portal assets this offseason because the recruiting class is phenomenal. It's the high schoolers. They're not all going to be win-now guys, and especially with the schedule they have next year, they need win-now guys.
The only portal guy that's made an impact this year is Bishop Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no one else. There's no one else.
I mean, Kennedy Urlacher, but that was one game. Not really.
Yeah. He's on the way for sure. He's on the way.
He'll be good. I think he'll be good. Not yet, but he will be.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, and I mean, the true freshmen, some of them have been like obviously Tank Hines. But those guys will grow too. So there's stuff
Marcellus to look forward Williams to. Pretty sneakily been pretty good.
Yeah. He's, I mean, in a cornerback room that's just been so depleted and just mired with issues. I feel like he's been solid. But yeah. Should we talk a little bit about just
the funny off-the-field stuff going on?
The seismic week, I've been calling it to myself, that USC has had. Just it's been a seismic week for the football team.
Yeah, Casey, you want to explain for some people because you were there in the press conference. For some who may not be aware.
Yeah. So I was at the press conference and a reporter asked Lincoln Riley, basically, long story short, because it was a long question, what his thoughts were on an Oregon fan at game day having a sign that said "Extend Lincoln Riley," just basically trying to say the connotation that opposing fans don't see Lincoln as a threat. Lincoln took massive exception to this comment and to this question rather. And it's been kind of going viral because Lincoln's reaction was very stern. I mean, he was upset.
Riley said it is the worst question it may have been the worst question I've ever been asked, and he should be ashamed of himself.
Yeah. And I mean, after a loss too, Lincoln, if you watch any USC football, Lincoln's not a guy who extends his words a lot after the games because he's upset when they lose, which rightful. I mean, any coach would be, but he took massive exception to this. So you combine that with the game note stuff with Dan Lanning, and it feels like the respect of the program has changed.
Yeah. It's interesting because I don't know. It was a bad question. I mean, we do know the journalist. He graduated from USC 2 years ago. Briefly overlapped with both of us at school. We know him a little bit. I don't know. It wasn't a great question, and I don't know. He's since apologized, and well, kind of, not really, not really, to be honest. But it's interesting because it's like, and then USC is just Lincoln Riley's response. Maybe it was a little harsh, but it's like it's interesting to see the dialogue between who thinks it was just a stupid question that journalists should go away versus who thinks Lincoln Riley owes him an apology, which is kind of funny to see.
Yeah, I mean, like we haven't really seen a big. Because Lincoln, it feels like, and I think a lot of the reporters at USC practices and games do ask good questions. But I don't know if Lincoln's always asked the toughest questions. And when he is asked tough questions, he doesn't always give the most, elaborate answers. It feels like his relationship with the media is pretty, like practices are closed, they're dry. It's dry. And we know at Oklahoma, like there was a lot of instances like this.
Yeah.
Where he would blow up. Kind of.
Here's the thing. I think the way this guy, Adam, who once again we know, knew, haven't really talked to him in years, who we knew, the way he asked it was very provocative in a way that it kind of sounded like people don't think that you're good at your job. Thoughts? And that's not a good way to go about it, especially because it was such an emotionally charged environment. The way that, and I've told you about this, the way I think about it, at the root of the question, it is like asking about the state of the program and how he feels about it. That was just the way he phrased it was just really poor, and it was a bad environment to do so. That's why I think it was not a good question.
It's also hard. I'll say too. It's hard to ask a coach after a game the state of the program.
Like I know it's like trying to ask like the hard questions and stuff like that, but it's like I just don't think you're ever going to get a good response necessarily in an environment like that. Like based off, all the experience I've had with that, it's, you want to ask the hard questions, but also it's hard to keep that relationship and have people trust you. Like, I don't know what's going to go on with Adam and Trojans Wire at the game on Saturday, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with Lincoln is he's very much not a soft-spoken guy, but he's not a guy who says a lot. He's discreet. And, it gives different reactions when different things are said. Lincoln doesn't have to always deal with, and especially having a general manager now, it makes his life a lot easier from a media standpoint too, because, Lincoln's no longer the guy running everything. So, I think that question, a version of that question that was maybe more concise and a little bit more accurate could have been asked to a guy like Chad Bowden, who is actually running this program and not in overseeing the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't really think, I'll be honest, like, I don't really think he needed to apologize, for being honest. I mean, like, he asked a question in a bad environment. Yeah. But also like,
I don't know.
Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a tough spot for both all the parties involved. It's because I mean, Lincoln didn't look good from a PR standpoint.
Very bad. Yeah. But Casey, let's talk a little bit about UCLA because it's Conquest. It is UCLA hate week, and USC theoretically is going to beat the tar out of the Bruins.
Yeah, I mean, UCLA sucks. Let's say they are a very bad football team. Nico actually got a little bit banged up that last game against Washington.
I was just looking up his injury report. If there's anything new on that,
might be a game time decision.
Let's see. Yeah, he's been day to day. Let me read through this real quickly.
You want to hear a crazy stat while you look that up?
Yeah, let's hear it.
UCLA has the best red zone offense in the Big Ten and the third best red zone offense in the country.
They just never get there. How many is it out of?
There you go.
Is it out of? Let me look at it. Sorry, go on.
I mean, they're pretty much they're the most penalized team in the Big Ten.
They've gone there 20. It's not even like a ridiculous number, huh?
Yeah, they're the most penalized team in the Big Ten. They're just not a good. I mean, we saw that fake field goal.
That was so funny, dude. That was so funny. It's especially I saw it like with no caption or anything like that. It was the funniest thing I've seen in forever. Yeah, just seeing that terrible attempt.
Yeah, I mean they're just
so good.
They have some playmakers like Moki Awatimalala. That's a mouthful name to say. But I mean the one thing they have going for them is historically the away team does win in this series.
The past like 5 years, which is ridiculous. This is the year it's got to break because if USC, and let's talk about this, because if USC loses to UCLA, which in no way I think they will, they're 21.5-point favorites. In no way I think they will lose to UCLA. If they do, Casey, should Lincoln Riley be fired on the spot?
I mean, we saw what happened to Justin Wilcox, where Cal had a pretty solid season, but they lose to the rival that they should have beat. I mean, Cal was, I think, multiple touchdown favorites over Stanford, and they got blown out by Stanford, and Justin Wilcox got fired. So I think so. I think USC would follow suit. You can't lose to your rival. like that when you're favored.
Yeah, no, they should not lose that game at all. And it's honestly, it's ridiculous to talk about them even losing that game. They are by far the better team. USC should finish this season 9-3, and we'll talk about it when they do. But I think it's cut and dry. USC should win this game, should run up the score, beat the life out of the Bruins.